While I'm doing my afternoon word jumbles,
Yes.
the same thing is happening. Burritos.
Welcome. You've got dads.
Hey, Damien. What's up, buddy? I had a lot of fun hanging out with Damien the other day. I wonder what he's up to. I open up Dad book and start writing him a message when Amanda walks in the door. Dad, you got a letter. Oh, is it from Grandma? No, it's from Damien. Whoa, can I see it? Amanda hands me a piece of old parchment, folded into an envelope and sealed with purple wax. Damn, this dude goes all out. I pry off the seal and unfold the letter. In the most beautiful calligraphy, the letter reads, Dearest Phil, I hope you'll find my continued correspondence endearing rather than trying. One can only hope that my use of the slower, more traditional form of communication will showcase my sincere and earnest sentiment that I greatly enjoyed our time together. I write this hastily under the warm embrace of excitement, fearful that I may misstep and speak toward something unwelcome. For now, I hope that you might forgive my boldness. I will simply say that your company has greatly occupied my thoughts. While the afternoon may have been derailed by forces unseen, your companionship helped a great deal, not only in the discipline of my child, but in the moral of my spirit. And for that, I thank you. That said, Phil, if you will allow me, it would mean the world to me if I could enjoy more of your time. Perhaps a trip to the cinema, followed by a moonlight stroll, would be to your taste. I eagerly await your response. With great respect, D. Bloodmarch. That was the fanciest letter I have ever read. Amanda and I both look up from the letter. Wow, he's good. So you're gonna catch a movie with him? Yeah, I better message him on Dad's book and let him know. Amanda shuts my laptop shut. You have to write him back, a real letter. But my handwriting looks like two toddlers fighting over a crayon. Mine too. Dad, you have to. He wrote you a letter. That's so cool. Will you help me? I need to class this up. Father, I was made for this. Here's what you do. Find tickets to a show that you two will like, then enclose them in the letter. Oh, that's classy. Amanda and I hop onto my laptop and peruse showtimes. He doesn't seem like a romantic comedy kind of guy. Oh, here's one. Vampire Crusade 2. Evil Never Dies. I don't know, that sounds kind of stupid. Actually, it's critically acclaimed exploration into the ennui of existence. It really turns the vampire trope on its head. Really? Nah, there's just lots of blood and vampire titties. Well, let's roll the dice. I purchase the tickets and print them out, then sit down at the table with Amanda trying drafting a nice letter. I start writing. Damien. I do hope this fine letter finds you in good health. Good one. What's next? I must confess of my amateur control of the written word. Jeez, Dad, have some faith in yourself. Okay, we're trekking along. Let me know how you're feeling. I felt very much the same after our last encounter. I did very much enjoy the adventure we found ourselves. Not bad. Good action-y sentence. Ask him to hang out already. True art takes time, Amanda. Well, a strange turn of events. I found myself enamored of the situation at hand. Like Bianco's landscape of the falling of Icarus, I find myself lost in your details. Bring it home, Pops. I very much enjoy your company. Accompanying me to the cinema. He saved it there at the end. I'm sure he'll appreciate your thoroughness. Enclosed, you'll find 2 tickets to Vampire Crusade 2, Evil Never Dies, which I'm sure you'll both find titillating and enjoyable. Best wishes. And then I sign my name. My full name. Fancier that way. Phil White. Is this okay? Amanda reads over my sloppy handwriting. Oof. What? No, just trying to keep you on your toes. Now, all I have to do is seal it and put it in his mailbox. Yes. Can I seal it with tape? That's not authentic enough. I have an idea. I'll be right back. Amanda leaves the room and returns with a candle and a lighter and a small piece of wood. You gotta have a wax seal. She lights the candle, which starts to burn down and form a pool of melted wax.
Oh.
What's the other thing? Amanda pours some wax onto the folded letter and expertly presses the small piece of wood onto it, lets it dry for a second, and pulls the wood away, revealing, here it is, your sigil. A little kitten with a bow on its head. Awesome. Scrapbooking stuff always comes in a clutch. Well, I guess all there is to do is to deliver it to his doorstep now, huh? Oh, I thought we were getting a carrier pigeon to do it. I already called my guy. I have a pigeon guy. Marcus. Marcus has the goods on pigeons. Don't get your pigeons from Anthony. They're no good. I don't want to know if any of this is true. I head outside and walk over to Damien's house. I slip the letter into the slot in his door and go back home. Mission accomplished. Now we play the waiting game. The night finally rolls around where I'm supposed to meet with Damien. The next day, he had left another beautifully crafted letter thanking me for mine and agreeing to the evening. Amanda helped me pick out a nice outfit, and I show up to the theater a little bit early. It's a chilly night, and the theater is kind of crowded, but it's still nice. How do you do? I jump at the sound of his voice and turn around to see Damien right behind me. You almost gave me a heart attack. How long were you there for? I don't know. I just walked up. My apologies for frightening you. Was that thunder? Is it going to rain soon? I didn't hear anything. What? What? Regardless, the hour grows close. Or close. You can never tell with the English language. Shall we take our seats in the cinema? I must thank you again for purchasing our tickets. Please, allow me to repay the deed in Sour Patch Kids. Or perhaps Milk Duds? Let's do it. We get in line to buy snacks. As we're waiting, I hear a familiar voice behind us. Please don't be Robert. Please don't be Robert. Ugh, my dad's here. Oh, thank God it's just you. I turn around to find Lucien standing a few feet behind us with a gaggle of other goth kids. Lucien, how nice to see you. I didn't know you were coming to the theater. I'm glad to see you spending some quality time with your friends. Whatever, Dad. Oh, what movie will you be attending tonight? My friends are making me see some movie about talking animals. I don't really care about it. Well, I do hope you enjoy your evening. We'll be watching Vampire Crusade 2. Evil Never Dies. You? Watching that? Yeah, I thought Damien would enjoy it. Ha! Good luck with that, Dad. Lucien rejoins his friends, and I look over to Damien. Good luck with what? It's nothing. My son loves to tease. We wait in line for a little longer, and Damien buys us snacks. He seems a little nervous. I wonder what's wrong. He is a vampire! I knew it! Except I saw him in the day, unless he's one of those Twilight vampires. I swear, Game Grumps, if you made Damien a Twilight vampire, I'm gonna be very angry. Damien and I take our seats and settle in for previews, glancing at him. I can see he's sweating profusely and gripping his armrest. Is everything okay? Everything is perfectly fine. I'm so excited for this film. Oh, you don't like horror movies, huh? I'm a devoted patron of the arts, especially the scary arts. The scarier the art, the better. Do you have a favorite horror movie? Of course I have a favorite horror movie. Mine is Halloween Town. Terrifying. Oh, interesting. That's odd. I don't seem to remember Halloween Town being that scary. I would have expected him to bring up some sort of strange foreign horror film that I'd never heard of. Damien's knuckles are turning white. It looks like he's about to rip the armrest off. Wait a second. Damien, are you afraid of horror movies? You must be joking. I love horror movies. The lights dim for the film. Damien screams. I apologize. I was thinking about something far scarier than this movie, which is not scary at all. We settle in as the film starts. I offer Damien some licorice, and he takes one. I take note of how much his hands are shaking. The title flashes across the screen in bloody letters. Vampire Crusade 2, Evil Never Dies. A pale man with long silver hair, glittering red eyes, and well-oiled abs sits up in a coffin. Awaken my coven. Two more vampires slide the tops of their stone coffins onto the floor. Brother, is it time? Yes, husband, but also mortal enemy. It is time. The three look at each other, then to the camera. For the Vampire Crusade. This rules. The trio of vampires fly off into the night as foreboding organ music plays in the distance. I somehow get lost in the movie. As dumb as it sounded, it's actually a pretty fun flick. We get to a tense moment of the movie where Romulus, Trueblood, sits at a truce meeting with the general of the human army, whose wife Romulus has fallen in love with. Romulus, it is good to finally meet you. General, I agree. It's good to finally blood you. Romulus leaps out and slashes at the general's throat. Blood splatters over everything, including the camera. Damien screams again, reflexively grasping my hand. I immediately blush, forgetting about any vampires or blood or vampiric blood. Oh, I'm terribly sorry. Damien retracts his hand and places it back in his lap. I was writing a novel in my head about blood magic, and I got to an extremely scary section. Damien goes back to quietly stressing out over the movie. It's kind of cute that he won't admit that he's afraid of it. I wish he would hold my hand again. Maybe I could do something to try to make him feel more comfortable. I got it. I'll do what all dads do best. Talk during the movie. Did you notice that how that guard fires 7 bullets, but his gun only holds 6 bullets? Yes, that is absolutely unforgivable from a filmmaking standpoint. It's almost unwatchable. It's funny how it's so much easier to point out tiny mistakes in the work of others than it is to actually go create your own thing, huh? Hey, look. That's an anachronism. The rest of the movie goes by relatively smoothly, with only a few whimpers from Damien. Maybe he would have liked the romantic comedy better. We get to the final scene of the movie where Romulus, Bad Blood, and the general's wife embrace each other in his crypt. It appears that the true vampire crusade was the vampire crusade in our hearts, our cold, unbeating hearts. Romulus and the general's wife begin making out hard. The film fades to black, and the end appears on the screen, but then it hard cuts to Demetrius and his rival lover, Carmela, who watch the two from afar. Oh no! Twist ending! Our bloodline has been pure for a thousand years. Romulus has betrayed us by loving a human woman. It will only be a short time before the next Vampire Crusade 3. Evil must die again. More thunder, more ominous organs. The movie fades out again, and a bloody question mark now accompanies the end. Damien and I walk out of the movie theater amidst throngs of chattering moviegoers. He's a little more pale than I remember, but otherwise he survived the encounter. He even seems kind of invigorated. What an interesting film. While the premise immediately struck me as pedestrian, I was intrigued by its harrowing love story and great attention to detail in regards to vampiric lore. Yeah, it was pretty good. A lot more vampire titties than I thought there would be. Come, the night is young. Let's take a stroll. Damien is making a point of not telling me where he's taking me. Still, I'm enjoying the walk and the cool night air. Being alone here with Damien is a lot better than being in a crowded theater. Lovely night, isn't it? As lovely as the company, yes. Oh, you're so smooth. He thinks I'm lovely. Damn. Okay, here comes the smooth response. Thanks. No problem. Crushed it. We both stand there feeling a little awkward. I sure am one smooth operator. Are you getting a little hungry? Maybe we could stop off and grab something to eat. Worry not, friend. I have a plan. We turn the corner and are greeted by the gates of a cemetery? What? Are we going in there? A little bit of Victorian flavor, Phil. Trust me. I don't trust you. I'm a bit nervous, but Damien hasn't led me wrong yet. I follow his lead as we walk into the cemetery. Statues of angels stare down at us as we follow a path through the faded tombstones. As we crest a small hill, we get a beautiful view of the city. The night lights sparkle around us. I gotta hand it to him. For being in a cemetery, this is strangely romantic. Picnicking in graveyards is an old Victorian tradition, an appropriate finish to an evening after a vampire movie, wouldn't you say? With a flourish, Damien produces a blanket and picnic basket. Wait, where were you hiding that? Under my cloak? Oh, right. Damien unfolds the blanket and we both sit down, gazing at the city lights. He produces a bottle of red wine and a fine selection of cheeses. In the Victorian era, there were no public art galleries, parks, or botanical gardens. That's what I wanted earlier when I was talking about his garden, the botanical garden. Or botanical gardens to speak of. Once rural graveyards became more popular alternative to church burials, they became the only place that people could see beautiful plant life and fine sculptures. That makes sense. This is pretty nice. I have a question though. How are you okay with being in a graveyard, but you had trouble handling a scary movie? I wasn't. He sighs deeply. Okay, yes, I was extremely scared by that movie. I was not writing a book about blood magic in my head. I just have never been good at those. I just feel as if because of how I look and act, people expect me to love horror films, so I must play the part. Truth be told, I don't know if I have the constitution for them at times. Damien, I'm so sorry. If I had known, I would have suggested another movie. It's quite alright. I did find myself enjoying this one, thanks to your help. Graveyards, however, I think there's something rather beautiful about death. Cemeteries are traditionally built away from cities, away from the realm of the living, and it keeps us rather separated from it. To acknowledge death and become comfortable with it, I think gives us a certain intimate knowledge of ourselves. To sit amongst generations of those who came before us, to be truly alive in the midst of so much death, brings me great comfort. Death helps me appreciate life, to savor every second. We sit and enjoy our food and wine. I don't feel scared anymore. Never thought I'd be comfortable sitting alone in the graveyard at night, but I actually feel very peaceful. Suddenly, it doesn't seem like we're alone. Often in the distance, I see a shadowy figure in the trees. What is that? I'm not sure. It noticed us. I'm paralyzed with fear as it begins lumbering slowly toward us. Its shape taking a more animal form, more feral. I look to Damien for help, but he's just as afraid and transfixed as I am. I want to scream, but it's stuck in my throat. The creature getting closer, moving faster. Woof! Oh, it's a dog. Hey! I know you! Oh no, that means Robert's here! No! I need to quit you, Robert! As it finally comes into the light, the friendliest, dumbest little boxing terrier I have ever seen pulls its owner toward us. The dog trots over to Damien and sniffs at his hands. Damien looks ecstatic. He ruffles the dog's fur happily. What a beautiful dog. Hey, we both look up, not expecting to see. Thanks. Robert, what are you doing out here on this lovely evening? Hunting cryptids. What? I didn't know you had a dog. This isn't my dog. I found her wandering in the street. I put a leash on her, and now we're walking around this graveyard together. Hunting cryptids. It's your dog, I know. Damien and I share a look. May I give her a treat? Sure. Wouldn't give her cheese, though. Not to worry. Damien reaches into the depths of his cloak and procures a small dog treat. What else is he keeping in there? The dog laps up the treat and crunches away, tail wagging furiously. Damien continues to smooth down her fur. Hey. Thanks. My absolute pleasure. Damien shakes the dog's paw. Lovely to meet you, my friend. May our paths cross again. Robert and his dog disappear into the darkness again. Damien stares after them. I didn't know you liked dogs. Victorians loved dogs, actually. Most Victorian women of high fashion would always be accompanied by a small dog, such as a terrier or a Maltese. I think big dogs are nice too. Yeah, man, dogs are cool. I do believe we've had enough excitement for one night. What say we make our way home? Damien hops to his feet and extends a hand to help me up. I gladly take it, as my knees aren't what they used to be. He packs up his picnic basket and leads us out of the graveyard. As we begin the walk home, I take one last look at the cemetery. It really is beautiful. Like a proper gentleman, Damien walks me home to my doorstep. Thank you ever so kindly for your company tonight. Damien, it was my pleasure. Phil, if you'll allow me, It would bring me great joy to offer you a token of my affection. Damien reaches into his cloak and pulls out a folded monogrammed handkerchief. He presses it into my hand. Well, thank you, Damien. I'll use this to dry my tears for those I've lost. I can't wait to sneeze on this. I'm gonna wave this at passing ships for those I've lost. A noble purpose. Damien shuffles his feet. I just want to say that it's rare to find someone like you. Someone who's open to my eccentricities. It's nice to feel so accepted. Thank you. Damien gives my hand a quick squeeze. Damien blushes and hastily retracts his hand. I must take my leave. Good night. Before I can say anything else, he's gone. I unlock the door and step inside. Like a whirlwind, Amanda runs from the window and plops down on the couch, trying to look nonchalant. Hey, Dad, what's up? Were you watching me from the window? No, I was just, Okay, yes, how was the movie? Lots of vampire titties. Told you. But as it turns out, Damien is Wait, Amanda doesn't need to know that. I'll keep it between me and Damien. Scary cool. Yep, he's so cool it's scary. Nice save, Phil. Did you know that graveyards used to be a place to throw parties? I think I'm misremembering that. Well, that's pretty punk. Also, we saw a dog. Definitely thought it was a werewolf for a minute, though. How can you be sure it wasn't a werewolf? How can you be so sure I'm not a werewolf? And how can I be so sure you're not a werewolf? Amanda's eyes narrow. I don't trust you. Nor I you. We make intense, wary eye contact for a second. Anyway, I'm calling it for the night. Don't stay up too late, will ya? I'll try not to howl at the moon past midnight. Good kid. Okay, how well did I do? Ooh. I did pretty good.
Wow. My stars, this... Never in a million moons have I had a date such as exquisite as this one.
Good to know. One more date to leave her alone. Sometimes they just need their space.
Oh.
Though also sometimes they do not need their space. They just need someone to be there for them. What did she say? I can't believe that. It's not dumb to feel. Real friends don't stab you in the back, Amanda Panda.
Welcome. You've got dads.
Okay, let's hang out one last time, Damien. I'm sure. Ever since we had that picnic in the graveyard, Damien and I have been spending a lot of time together. We go on nighttime strolls pretty regularly. He was so impressed with the first letter I wrote him that he insisted we only communicate by post instead of through Dadbook. I initially protested, but he gave me one of his old signet rings to use as a seal for my letters, and I just couldn't say no. Hanging out with that goth dad again? Please, Amanda, you know his name. And yes, I am.
Huh?
Be honest with me here, Pops. Is he actually a vampire? I remember you inviting him into our household that one time, and I've seen The Lost Boys, and I honestly would have preferred trying to see if he could have walked through the threshold of our home under his own power. Yes, Amanda, I have become Damien's familiar. I am compelled under his curse. I'm sorry, sweetie. Turn into a bat.
Ugh.
I don't think... What's the point of being a vampire if you can't turn into a bat? Well, okay, I'm off. Are you taking the car or are you flying off into the night on the leathery wings of a bat? One of those. While I'm out, can you throw away the garlic bread that's in the freezer so I don't die? That would be great. And keeping it there as insurance. You understand, right? That's my girl. Damien and I walk along the water's edge, chatting. Damien's cloak. He hates it when people call it a cape. Damien's cloak flutters behind him in the breeze. This is gonna seem like a silly question, but why do goths wear black? Gothic subculture has always been associated with death, so it would make sense that the style surrounding it would be greatly influenced by mourning. Interestingly, though, was that in the Victorian era, Queen Victoria herself mourned the death of her late husband for 10 whole years, wearing black for the rest of her life. If that's not goth, I don't know what is. I have another question. Go ahead. How are you so comfortable with death? You mentioned in the graveyard that it helps you appreciate your life or something?
No.
I've experienced several losses over the course of my life, and I truly believe that the only manageable way to cope with it is Yeah, I'm reading that right. I keep thinking I'm reading it wrong, which is why I'm stopping. And I believe that the only manageable way to cope with it is to accept that death is simply part of living. It's the single universal truth for every human who has ever lived. I'm going to die, you're going to die, and life carries on without us. Doesn't that make you feel scared? Not at all. Without the advances of modern science, death was everywhere in the Victorian era, and yet, funerals were major social functions. Victorians were obsessed with mementos of their loved ones, even going so far as to take elaborately staged photographs of their dead relatives. The minutiae of mourning was so complex that there were set periods of grieving that were deemed accessible based on who in your life has passed. Now, we don't have any of that. You lose someone, you end up feeling lost yourself because we have no modern equivalent of those formalities. We need to allow ourselves time to grieve, to feel that loss fully, but not allow it to consume us. So no, I'm not afraid of death. I believe it is a waste of time to spend your life dreading the end of it. The time we have here is brief and fleeting and occasionally cruel, but it is at all times precious. To stare death in the face and live despite that, I think is a noble existence. Let's just save the mourning for the dead. Wow, that's beautiful. I can see the moonlight in the bay glint off of Damien's eyes. He smiles. We turn to the harbor and watch ships pass, breathing in the salty air. I look at Damien again. I can't help but be entranced by his charm, his mystery. I find everything about him so fascinating. I lean in closer to Damien, closing my eyes as I do so. I'm so sorry, I have to take this. I was so close to getting a curse. Curse you, phone. Damien steps away from me to answer his phone. Oh no, I hope it isn't Lucien again. After speaking in hushed tones for a few minutes, Damien turns to me. Everything okay? There's an emergency. Lucien? No, thankfully, but I must take my leave. Oh. Okay. Is there anything I can do to help? Dads do have to stick together, right? You know it. Then come. There isn't time to waste. After a short drive in silence, we arrive at a rundown building on the outskirts of town. Where are we? It's better if I just show you. I push the surprisingly heavy door open and find myself in a dimly lit waiting room. A few rickety chairs line the wall, and there doesn't seem to be anyone behind the front desk. There are a few paintings and pictures on this wall, but they're so nondescript. I'm still unsure of what kind of place this even is. Wait here for a moment. I'll be right back. Damien walks off down a corridor, his boot heels echoing through the halls of this seemingly empty building. Distant howls echo from someplace I can't see, and there's a faint scratching sound, like claws on tile. I cautiously peek down the hall and find stall after stall of scared-looking dogs. A few of them notice me and skitter up to their chain-link fence, sticking their nose through to sniff the air. What have I gotten myself into? Suddenly, the lights shut off. I panic, unsure of where I am or how I can get out. I stumble through the darkness, my breathing getting heavier and heavier. Damien? The lights finally turn back on. Hey, sailor. Mary? What are you doing here? You aren't here for the fight club? Oh, no. It's not a human fight club. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to get punched in the face. Great, because this is an animal shelter. A what? We take care of stray animals, and then people adopt the stray animals. Didn't you see the pets when you walked in? Oh, it's just... Okay, thank God. False alarm, everyone! It's just an animal shelter, hopefully. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. I didn't really expect to see you volunteering at an animal
Give it
shelter.
a rest, buddy. Ugh.
Wow. Okay, kid, wait to put me in a box. Dames, you hear this baloney? Just one moment. How do you do that? Thunder cracks and a door bursts open. Appearing from the shadows, I see Damien? Did you put your hair... Can we talk about this for a minute, Damien? I like you. You know what? I'm not gonna talk about this. You do you, Damien. You do you. Hey. It's Damien. He looks completely different. No cloak, no Victorian era clothing, no makeup. I wasn't planning to share this side of me until much later, but I'm not as goth as you think. No. Really? I had no idea. I'm a system administrator for the IT department of a reality company. I return issues to work and I listen to Bruce Springsteen. Good choice. I enjoy going to the hardware store and looking at storage solutions, and I volunteer at this animal shelter in my spare time. I'm boring. I'm fascinated with the Victorian history and the goth lifestyle. That much is true. It's just not all that I am, and I need you to know that. Oh, I hate to kill the moment here, but there's some pressing business that needs attending to. Oh, right. It's Duchess Cordelia. Again? Who's Duchess
Oh my
Cordelia?
God.
She's one of the pups. She gets out all the time. She somehow learned to open doors, and now she's unstoppable. When did she get out? This morning, I went to go sing sea shanties to the cats, and when I came back, she had already bolted. I have to stay here with the pets, so I need you two to go and find her. I don't work here. I totally would, though. Of course. Where could she be? She always ends up running off to the same places. Here, let me draw you a map. Mary starts scribbling on the back of a pet adoption form. She's very smart, ruthless even. You need to stay on your toes and get her back down by sundown, or else she turns into a werewolf and starts eating people. What? You're a perfect little peach, Phil.
Ah.
We just don't want her to be stuck outside when it's cold. Oh, I'll grab some treats and we can hit the road. Damien and I look over the map Mary created for us. Oh man, I'm Nerd's house? At least you're not other Nerd's house. Looks like you're moving up the pecking order. Congrats, kiddo. Where should we head first? Let's go to the aquarium. Damien and I exit the parking lot and start driving down the road. I look over to him. He seems concerned. Shouldn't be too hard finding the Duchess, right? She's a pretty big pup. Mary wasn't kidding when she said that dog was smart. One time she correctly guessed the winner of the Kentucky Derby. It was really great. A great year for Bark, Bark, Bark. I don't know. What do you think our odds are, Phil? This will be easy. Gotta stay positive. My dad once told me, Phil, you can't shove reasons up your nose. And that hurt my feelings. I felt discouraged. But I kept a positive attitude, and you know what? I made it happen. Ew. It might have landed me in the ER and forced me to have 10 golden raisins removed from my nasal cavity. But on that day, I learned that anything is possible if you have a good attitude and abnormally large nostrils. Young children really are resilient, I suppose. Haha, yes, young children. I was 16. Let's just hope for the best. We got this. Penguins! Damien and I stopped by the aquarium. Why are penguins at the aquarium, though? Damien and I stopped by the aquarium. Everything looks in order, but it might help to get out of the car and take a look. You seen anything? No dog here. Not even any sign of her. Did you know that penguins are considered the goths of the sea? Damien, I want to believe you so badly. Let's check the softball field. Dogs like big yards, right, Snow? She's taking a nap. You know, this would be a great time for you to be awake and help me. I'm trying to find a dog. And if anyone would know dogs, it's you, because you're a dog. We drive to the softball field. It looks like Craig's team is practicing. I wonder if any of the kids saw something. Craig spots us and jogs over, softball bat slung over his shoulder. Hey bros, what's up? Craig, you wouldn't have happened to see a dog run around here, have you? One escaped from the animal shelter and we're trying to locate her. I don't think so. Maybe one of the girls saw her. Girls? Hi, Amanda's dad. Hi, Lucian's dad. We have names. Girls, have you seen any dogs around? There was a big dog here just a few minutes ago. I don't think she had an owner, but it really wanted to play. We tried to play fetch with her, but she just took the softball and ran. I think she ate it, actually. She was a lot of dog. Here, take another softball. It might come in handy later. Many thanks, Craig. Let's hang out at the Coffee Spoon. We park in front of Matt's coffee shop and walk inside. It seems like a slow day. Matt sits behind the counter reading a book.
Oh.
Hey, Matt. Didn't expect to see you two today. What's up? Have you seen any stray dogs around? Can't say I have. You're looking for one? Can you describe them to me? Enormous. That pretty well covers it. Cool. I find strays digging for food scraps in the alley out back sometimes. I'll be sure to keep an eye out. We head back to the car. Okay, let's go to the Bayside. We arrive at the Bayside. Just like old times, eh? I remember it as if it were yesterday. I mean, earlier today. So what do you think? Any sign of the pooch? None yet. Although who knows if she made it onto any of these ships. The Duchess would do that? I wouldn't put it past her to know how to navigate in rough seas without a compass. Very smart. Pops? Damien and I turned to see my daughter. Amanda, what are you doing here? Do you think I just stayed inside all day, vegging out on the couch and watching TV? Oh, sorry. What are you doing? I'm heading home to go veg out on the couch and watch TV. Had to get a burrito first. Young miss, have you seen a dog around here? Oh, you bet. I saw a Pomeranian with a bow on it around its neck. I saw a big old Doberman named Henry. There was a stroller full of Yorkies, a Greyhound, a Golden Retriever. Did you see a Mastiff anywhere? No dice. I would definitely have remembered that. I gotta run though. This burrito has about 10 minutes before the cheese breaks down the molecular structure of the tortilla and makes it all soggy. You understand. I do? Of course. Have a lovely evening, Miss White. So formal. I fear that the hours are growing short. We must make haste if we're going to find the Duchess by sundown. Damien's looking more stressed out by the minute. I gotta think of something to lighten the mood. So, what kind of dogs did vampires have? I would imagine it would be unwise for a vampire to take up the company of a smaller mammal for the means of companionship. It would be too tempting to... A bloodhound. I was going to say a bloodhound, Damien. Ooh, you did not like that. Let's try that again. Knock, knock. Who's there? Death cult. Death cult. Who? Death cultivate a more chipper attitude, friend. We're gonna find that dog. A smile cracks on Damien's lips. That's better. I keep reading Damien directions from the map, and we drive around town. Well, the only place I haven't been is the cul-de-sac. Brian. Just the man I wanted to talk to. We drive through the cul-de-sac and everything seems to be pretty normal. It looks like Brian's doing some yard work. We pull into Brian's driveway and hop out. Hey, don't step on the grass. I just mowed. Have you seen any unusual activity in the area today, aside from your underwater lawn? Oh, here we go. How dare you? I take my lawn care very seriously. Phil, please. You haven't seen a dog run through here, have you? Well, a few hours ago I heard Maxwell bark at something. When I came outside, and my garden had been torn to shreds. It's going to take forever to re-till the soil. That could be a dog. Or a rather feisty raccoon. Whatever it was, it must have been hungry. He ate all my tomatoes. I'm very sorry to hear about your garden. If you need assistance restoring it to its former glory, please don't hesitate to contact me. Will do, buddy. Good luck finding that dog. She's probably still hungry. I wonder if she's looking for more food elsewhere. Hey! Guys, I think I may have seen the dog you were looking for. You did? A brown mastiff? Size of a house? Yeah, I saw it digging through the trash in the back. It ran away when I tried to get closer, though. Did you see what direction it ran in?
Oh.
That thinks for a second. Might have been running east, I think. That pup tore through 3 pans of banana bread Kennedys. Want to take some for the road just in case? Sure thing. Matt packages up a slice. Thanks for the slice. The road slice. The banana bread Kennedys is gonna be so good. I think he meant to give it to you for the dog. Right, I meant it's gonna be so good for the dog to eat. I feel like we're on the right track. You think? If we keep this up, we'll find Duchess in no time. Hey, if you like dogs so much, why don't you have any? Lucien is severely allergic. I wouldn't put him through that. But there are still dogs in my life. So, for that, I'm grateful. There's about to be one more dog in your life, buddy. Splendid attitude. Let's not waste any more time. Verily. Okay, so... East... would be... back to the cul-de-sac? Because this is north, east, south, and west. So let's head back to the cul-de-sac, I guess? He goes, door is wide open. She can open doors. This is classic Duchess Cordelia, a telltale sign. We should approach with caution. Whatever goes down in there, I've got your back. We creep up onto the porch and step inside. They're sitting in the center of Hugo's living room like she owns the damn place as one of the biggest dogs I've ever seen. Woof! Well, she hasn't broken anything in here. Yet. Wonderful. Now all we have to do is get this leash on her before she tries to escape again. And you get out of here before Hugo comes home. Easy peasy. Duchess, come here. The Duchess eyes Damien warily as he approaches. She begins to growl. She's on her guard. We'll need another plan. Try the banana bread. I reach into my pocket and pull out the slice of banana bread Kennedy's Matt gave me. Duchess sniffs the air and hones in on the bread. Come here, girl. Nice and easy. I've got some yummy homemade vegan and possibly gluten-free banana bread, if that's what you're into. The Duchess cautiously approaches me and gives the bread a good sniff, before gently taking it from my hand and dropping it on the ground. Like dogs always do for some reason. She curls up and starts munching on the bread. Success. Damien walks up behind the Duchess and attaches the leash to her collar. She immediately notices and starts whining. It's time to go home now, Duchess. Damien gives a tug on the leash. She won't move. Duchess, what happened to our rapport? You and I used to be bosom buddies. She still doesn't move. She's huge. There's no way we could even try to lift her. Well, this is a weird situation to be in.